my teenage soul, starting to get old before my time.
We're walking right up beside the Mueller Glacier, and it's just a fantastic place to see the glacial landforms of the Mount Cook National Park. What's really noticeable here is how the landscape has been changing through time. Over the last 150 years or so, the ice has been retreating rapidly. So we can see this because at the edge of the glaciers there's a very high moraine wall, and that face shows us how much the glacier has retreated since the mid-19th century. All over the place here you can see ice sort of sliding off the slopes of the mountains.
So we've just come up from Mount Cook village. Took us a couple of hours, pretty much straight uphill the whole way. Oh, check it out!
Okay. Wow.
We've just seen a pretty awesome avalanche falling down, and the sound of it is pretty amazing. Sounds like thunder.
So there's a continual erosion, very rapid erosion, while the mountains themselves are actually being pushed up along the alpine fault.
These glaciers build up during the winter when there's plenty of snowfall, and then during the summer they have nowhere to go but over the edge of the cliff faces that you can see around us. There's a large amount of rock debris that just gets pushed over the edge with the snow and left around littered all over the place.
You can see Aoraki Mount Cook. Its height is 3,754 metres. At the moment we're looking at the south face of the mountain. Despite its enormous distance away from us, it still looks huge compared to its surrounding environment, which gives us some idea of the actual enormous size of this mountain.
I was sulking by the bleachers, met my high school teacher, and asked him for a message or a sign. He said, hey, I can sympathize, one look in your weepy eyes.
The Tasman Glacier is the longest glacier in New Zealand. It runs down just east of Mount Cook and the main divide of the Southern Alps. The upper half of the Tasman Glacier is white snow and ice, but lower down it is covered by a blanket of rocks 1 or 2 metres deep. These boulders have either fallen onto the surface from the sides or been exposed from within the glacier as the surface ice melted away. The Tasman Glacier is about 29 kilometres long if you include the terminal lake. This lake is expanding rapidly as the water eats away at the ice and is presently about 5 kilometres long. You could be in a classroom right now.
How life can be tough, but I'll let you in on a little clue. I might not look as young as you, but if you think the way I do, then things are looking up. 'Cause every time a year goes by, life gets better. I feel a little more pride with every
fantastic viewpoint of Brewster Glacier. This is just a classic, beautiful small scale alpine or cirque glacier. So we've got an accumulation area on the slopes of Mount Brewster. The lower altitude is warmer, so the lower part of the glacier melts more rapidly than the upper part, and you can pretty much find the line of the balance point. So above the equilibrium line, at the end of the summer, which is now, you have still got some residual winter snow. Below the equilibrium line, it's tending to melt more than just the last winter snow. And that line is represented by the snow line at this time of year. When we walk on the glacier, we're going to have to look out for the crevasses at the bottom end. That's the tricky bit. Once we get above those, we'll be sweet on easier angle and kind of crunchy ice, but it won't be. It's just a few crevasses at the beginning we'll have to negotiate.
With every new sunrise, I get a little bolder. Some people just get older, but I'm still growing up.
85.
I'm still growing up. So I went off to college to get myself some knowledge and maybe change my.
So we're about a third of the way up the glacier. So we're just measuring the amount of snow melt by the amount of pole which is sticking out of the ground. A while ago when the pole was put in, the top of the pole was at top of the ice. It was put in about 4.5 to 5 months ago, and so over the summer it's melted about 539 meters.
So this year the snow line is very high up the mountain, whereas typically we'd be quite well into the snow line now. So here we are at pole 12D. We're about to head back down the glacier, and it's also showing signs of lots of crevasses, which is making it quite difficult to locate the poles on the western side of the glacier.
And to sing the blues. One night before a party, my dad called to talk to me. He asked, am I doing okay? I said, Dad, ain't no point in the papers that I turn in, but I still keep on learning something every day. And every time a year goes by, life gets better. I feel a little more pride with every birthday letter, with every new sunrise. I get a little bolder. Some people just get older, but I'm still growing up. Yeah, I'm still changing. I'm still running. I'm still always trying to get away with something. Yeah, I won't get taller, but I'll still keep moving on till I'm 101.
So it's 1 meter 20, and
It's 5 meters 20 total.
yeah. So this is our second day up on the glacier. The weather is not half as good as it was the other day. It's a bit foggy. And we've just reached the top of the last pole, number 18, which is pretty close to the top of the glacier. Since November, we've had about 5 meters 20 of melt.